British fighter jets deployed to defend Polish skies. A NATO response to Russian drone activity. British RAF jets have flown their first mission under NATO's Eastern Sentry operation, taking to the skies over Poland after a recent incursion by a Russian drone. The deployment serves both as a show of support for Poland and as a broader signal of NATO's preparedness to defend its eastern flank. What happened? Poland recently shot down Russian drones after they entered its airspace without permission. This provoked concern among NATO members about escalating airspace violations. On top of that, a drone incursion was reported over Romania, and 3 Russian jets entered Estonian airspace without approval, remaining there for around 12 minutes. These incidents collectively raised alarms within NATO that Moscow is probing how the alliance might respond to increased incursions. The RAF mission. 2 RAF Typhoon fighter jets were dispatched from RAF Koningsby in Lincolnshire. The mission was supported by a Voyager air-to-air refueling aircraft. The jets flew into Polish airspace late on a Friday night and returned back to the UK in the early hours of Saturday. Defense Secretary John Healey emphasized that the mission sends a clear signal that NATO airspace will be defended. Air Chief Marshal Harv Smith, head of the RAF, described the operation as the RAF's first operational mission under Eastern Sentry, underlining the UK's readiness to project air power at range. Strategic context and implications. Eastern Sentry is NATO's operation designed to enhance security along Europe's eastern border. It has gained urgency given repeated airspace violations, including drone incursions by Russian military assets. The timing of this RAF mission is notable. It comes as the UK marked the 85th anniversary of the Battle of Britain, a historical moment recognizing Polish contribution to Britain's air defense in World War II. Healey described the mission as especially poignant in this context. Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk warned that the country was closer to open conflict than at any time since World War II, illustrating the seriousness with which Warsaw views these incursions. Key messages and signals. The UK's deployment reinforces the idea that NATO is no longer merely reactive, but is taking proactive steps to deter violations of Allied airspace. The operation affirms NATO's principle of collective defense, allies supporting each other to uphold territorial integrity and sovereignty. The use of air refueling, Voyager aircraft, demonstrates that missions under Eastern Sentry aren't just symbolic. They are operationally capable of extended reach and endurance. Challenges and risks. Escalation risk. Any air incursion, especially by drones or fast jets, carries risk of miscalculation. Responses have to be calibrated to avoid unintended escalation. Rules of engagement. Intercepting or possibly engaging drones or unidentified aircraft is complex. Distinguishing between aggression, reconnaissance, or accidental incursions requires clear protocols. Sustained pressure. Physical defense missions, continuous monitoring, and readiness place strain on resources, personnel, fuel, maintenance, surveillance assets. What to watch going forward. Whether further deployments of RAF or other NATO air assets occur, particularly along Poland's eastern border or other sensitive areas. Whether Russia continues similar incursions, drone flights, unpermitted aircraft, or probing raids, and how frequently NATO is forced to respond. Diplomatic responses, efforts through NATO, EU, bilateral talks, or other international mechanisms to address violations of sovereignty. Enhancements in Allied air defense systems, drone detection, radar coverage, and readiness to respond quickly to such threats. Conclusion. The recent RAF deployment over Poland under NATO's Eastern Sentry operation represents a strong message. NATO will defend its airspace, and allies are ready to act together. In the face of repeated Russian drone and aircraft incursions, this mission is both symbolic and operational, designed to deter further violations, reassure allies, and demonstrate that NATO's eastern borders are not neglected.